Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new Samsung Galaxy A16 5G, and today I'll go for unboxing along with a quick look at the phone itself and also its specifications. So anyway, without further ado, let's just pop it open, and I do need to grab my little knife to actually open it up. There we go. Now I'll mention, this is the 5G. There's also the non-5G version of this phone, which is just a smidge slower all in all. So the 5G will be tiny bit faster comparatively, and it's like a $10 difference, I think. So it might be more beneficial to go for this one, as it gives you, number one, the 5G connectivity, and number two, just a little bit faster phone. Anyway, inside of the box we have our charging cable, Type-C to Type-C, and just paperwork. Then we have the phone itself, and nothing in here. It's just empty. Okay, so here's our phone. Let's boot it up. There we go. Now I can already see there's a bit of a substantial chin at the bottom. You can see it right here. It's a bit bigger than what most devices have nowadays, which is kind of odd considering this device was released at the end of the 2024. My, 5-6-year-old phone has better screen to body ratio than this has, so that's a bit disheartening. But anyway, let's start off with the actual display. So the display right here is a 6.7-inch display, standard size, with a resolution of 1080 by 2340 pixels. Again, standard resolution. It is a Super AMOLED display, a 90 Hz refresh rate, and a brightness of about 800 nits. It also boasts an 86% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of 385 pixels per inch. Outside of just the bezels right here, this display is pretty good for considering that this is a Samsung phone, meaning the brand, and it has 90 Hz and all that stuff. So yeah, the only downside here is just bezel being a little bit chunky. Now, I will also point out, if I were to compare this device to basically what I consider the best value for your money, this device gets completely smashed out of the water, and I'm going to talk about that phone later on if you're interested in something that is just going to be better than this at a same price. So yeah, anyway, that will, like I said, come at the end. So with the display out of the way, we can now talk about the internals. So in here, in this plastic build, we have a 5000 mAh battery that can be charged at 25 watts with a cable. There is no wireless charging. We also have a Dimensity 6300 processor powering this device, with either starting from 4 up to 8 gigabytes of RAM. And that, talking about all the options and storage and RAM, we have 128 gigs with 4 gigs of RAM, 128 with 6, 128 with 8, and 256 with 8. And surprisingly enough, if GSM Arena, which is where I'm getting all the data from, is correct, which I think they are, yep, we have a expandable storage on a Samsung device. Would you look at that? So you can either use two different SIM cards or one SIM card and one SD card, which is pretty nice. Now, if you flip it over to the back, to the cameras, we have what looks to be a triple camera setup. And I can already tell you this is not actually a triple camera setup, as the last one at the bottom is a 2 megapixel macro sensor, which is absolutely freaking useless. So that should not be considered as a viable camera. It's a sticker camera. But the main sensor is a 50 megapixel f1.8 wide sensor followed with the 5 megapixel f2.2 aperture ultra wide sensor, and like I said, the 2 megapixel macro, which don't really count. Now with those cameras you can record videos at 1080p at 30 frames. Unfortunately, there's nothing more, so it's not the best when it comes down to video recording quality. Now if you flip it over, we have a little drop right here, and that houses a 13 megapixel f2.0 aperture wide sensor. Just like the back cameras, it can record videos at 1080p 30 frames. And a couple additional things that aren't really visible at the first glance. We have Android 14 on here with up to 6 major Android updates. So this phone is basically good to go to like Android 20, unless they start, changing the names there to ditch the numbers or whatever. But still, 6 updates to that, so you should be good to go no matter what the name is. And One UI 6.1 at the moment. Now, I think that's basically everything worth mentioning right here. I do want to also talk about a couple of things that actually I didn't cover. So I did say that the build right here is, the frame is plastic. Back is also plastic as well, so you're getting a pretty budget device in terms of components right here. But they don't feel like cheap. They don't look cheap, which is pretty good. So that adds a little bit to that, more premium feeling. We also have a fingerprint sensor that doubles as a power button with volume rockers right above that. And then at the top we have just a microphone, which you can see right here if I can get the light shine correctly. Then we got our SIM SD tray. And at the bottom we have another microphone, Type-C charging port, and a single speaker hole. And that's about it. So not much to the device itself. Like I mentioned, price-wise, it's about 200 euros, 210 this one, about 150 US dollars from based on the GSM Arena. And like I mentioned before, the other alternative that I can recommend that is a pretty good device with at this point I would say a fairly reputable brand would be from the Nothing phone. The brand is called Nothing, and they've been producing bits kind of like the flagship killers prior to what I'm about to mention. For cheaper price, they would just skimp out on some components just to make the phone more affordable. But they released what could be considered a mid-range device at a low-end price tag, which is $200, about 200, give or take like 10, 20 bucks. But what you will get is, let's just quickly open that up. So the phone that I'm talking about is the CMF Phone 1. It's what I would consider a budget kind of looking device. It is made out of plastic. Don't get dissuaded by that though, because the way it's designed with the plastic cover, which when you have the back cover, it's also part of like the sides. So when that gets damaged, you have visible screws. You can completely unscrew them and swap it out for a new cover that they sell at a very reasonable price. And also, if you just want to have some flair, spice up the colors, change it, you can literally change the cover to other colors. And additionally, they have like a little wheel right here at the bottom that allows you to add attachments like a kickstand or maybe some like keychain thingy thing. And yeah, it's pretty versatile, even though it's designed to be more of a budget device. But where it's not budget is number one, charging speeds at 33 watts compared to the 25, with the processor being the Dimensity 7300 instead of the 6300. So this is the low-end processor. They have the mid-range processor, and it starts at 6 gigs of RAM and goes up to 8 gigabytes of RAM with AMOLED display, just like here, but instead of 90, it has 120 Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 2000 nits. So it gets brighter, it runs faster, charges faster, has a faster processor. Now, when it comes down to Android, Samsung has this thing where they do the 6 major updates. Other brands don't really do that, so if you really want to have like a phone that you just get and keep it for like a decent amount of time, that might not be the case, but just to point that out, the CMF Phone 1 will have 2 major updates of Android. So that is a third of what Samsung offers, but still everything else in there is, I would say, making up for the lack of the Android updates. So I recommend checking that device, as it is going to be better in almost every kind of way. The OS there as well is pretty flashed out, so I can't really complain about that. And yeah, you're gonna have a phone that just feels way more snappy compared to this right here. So that is my recommendation if you're looking for basically similarly priced device, but one that is just faster. So with that being said, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.